welcome to today's video. In today's video, I'm just going to basically talk about me so you guys can get to know me a little bit better. I do have a lot more subscribers, and I'm very appreciative of all of you who have subscribed to my channel and found interest in my content. So first off, I am a carnivore. I eat the carnivore lifestyle. I primarily eat beef and eggs along with some electrolytes in my water. Every now and then I'll indulge in some dairy, but I have issues with dairy via hormonal rise for my anxiety and stuff like that. It does seem to increase that, so I try to limit my dairy intake. I do eat chicken as well, but not as often as I eat beef. I literally eat beef almost every single day. I do not eat pork. It does not agree with me. My stomach hurts really bad after eating it, so I avoid pork. I've eaten elk. I've eaten bison. I just honestly, me and my husband both prefer beef. So we make our own beef bacon. We support a local rancher, Thomas Cattle Company. If you guys are interested, they do ship around the U.S. except for Alaska and Hawaii. So if you guys are interested in that, you can visit thomascattlecompany.com. They have a lot of awesome deals. I know it's past their delivery for Christmas, unfortunately, but they always have sales and such, and that's who we use. And they literally are very local for us, so I love supporting them in general. But their beef is delicious. We've ran out before and had to buy some from the store, and we're like, yeah, never doing that again. But yeah, so a little bit about me. After I graduated high school, I went straight to college after the summer. I wanted to major in criminal justice. I wanted to be a probation and parole officer. Obviously, that's not what I do now, or I never actually did that job. So about 3 years after college, I did graduate with an associate's degree in criminal justice and law enforcement as well. And I got a job at our local detention center, so the local jail, and I was a detention deputy for about 4.5 years before I decided to finally join the military. I did not join right away out of high school. I actually refused. They really want you fresh out of high school to join. I refused to join. I didn't want to join the military. But at age 25, I decided, let's give it a try. So I joined the military, got stationed at Seymour Johnson Air Force Base, which is in North Carolina, for my first enlistment. And while being enlisted there, I attended Mount Olive University, and I obtained my criminal justice degree because that's what the military's tuition assistance would pay for. Because prior to joining the military, while I was working at the jail, I was actually changed my major to major in biology with an emphasis in forensic science, because I actually wanted to be a mortician and help in the morgue. So that's what I was doing while I was working at the jail. But of course, in the military, tuition assistance only covers 1 degree format. So since I already had an associate's in criminal justice, they would only cover a bachelor's, master's, and PhD in criminal justice, basically. So that's why I finished my criminal justice degree while in the military. So I have a bachelor's in criminal justice. And then got stationed in Mountain Home, Idaho, where I finished out the rest of my second enlistment, and I separated from the military. So prior to separating, about 6 months prior to separating, I decided to continue to go back to school and try to get into the radiology program at a local university. So I started taking classes while still in, and I was accepted. Out of the people that applied, I was one of 50 that got interviewed to possibly be one of the 25 that got accepted into the program, but I was not one of the 25 that got accepted to start the program that fall. I could have gone into respiratory care, respiratory therapy stuff, but I honestly didn't want to do that because I didn't really want to work with super sick people where they were basically on their deathbeds. I didn't want to do that. I wanted to do more, x-rays and MRIs and all that with my radiology degree. So I decided to basically finish out that. I finished out a couple classes with that degree anyway, coming that summer. So I finished the summer for some of my classes because was taking Human Anatomy 1 and 2 again. Since I took it 10 years ago, I had to retake it again. That way I can refresh my memory of Human Anatomy and all that. So I decided after that, that's about when my husband started looking at different diets to lose weight, and he came about the carnivore diet, and he started in October and I also started in October. So about that time is when I really decided that I want to continue going to school using my GI Bill, and I was like, I'll just get a bachelor's in nutrition. I want to make sure I'm well educated, even though, in my personal opinion, nutrition degrees, we are behind on newer studies and basically how to eat properly. I think we're behind. I think nutrition classes are behind on all that, unfortunately. But that's where I think my knowledge and also me following other YouTubers that are doing the carnivore lifestyle have really helped me, honestly, be successful where I'm at. So there's that. I have, with my bachelor's in nutrition, I just finished 2 classes. I have a week and a half off. I start my last 2 classes, and then after that, I start my capstone. So I will be complete with my nutrition degree by the end of May, and then I believe the graduation I will graduate in October, because since I'm going virtual, their virtuals are only February, May, and October, but their May one is May 4th, and I graduate I think I'm done May 28th. So I can't go to the May one, so I'll graduate in October, but I will officially have completed my degree this coming May, which I'm super excited about. So not only will I have a bachelor's in criminal justice, I will also have a bachelor's in nutrition. I also have an associate's in avionics technology, because in the Air Force, I was an avionics technician. So I was stationed at F-15E bases, so F-15 Eagle. And that is the jet I worked on in the military. And those jets have electronic components on them. And so the people that work on the flight line, which is where the jets land, they take those components off, truck them over to where I worked in a shop, and then we have machines that mimic the jet, and we hook those electronic devices up to machines that have programs to run them to imitate like they're on the jet, and we can troubleshoot those. So basically I worked on all the electronic components of the F-15E, which was honestly a really enjoyable job. I liked troubleshooting. I liked figuring things out. I liked doing, the hands-on type of stuff. So I enjoyed my job in the military, but other aspects of it just weren't feasible for me, for my lifestyle. A lot of it was I didn't want to get PCS'd again away from my stepson that lives in Utah. So we didn't see him very much when we were in North Carolina. And now we get to see him basically, if I really wanted to, I can go down there every day if I really wanted to. They're 3 hours or so away. So, I mean, it'd be a drive, but I can visit him if I really wanted to every single weekend, stuff like that. So, just family-wise, it just was no longer feasible for me to stay in. Plus, I have some disabilities that I was having a hard time doing my physical fitness test and staying physically ready to deploy in the military. So that's another reason why I decided to go ahead and separate as well. I put myself through enough, and I wasn't going to continue breaking myself. So, and in the military, I was also a volunteer victim advocate. Basically, that is a volunteer for the sexual assault prevention and response career that civilians and some military members can hold in the military. So basically what that does is we are there to help support victims of sexual assault and sexual harassment. So I was actually a volunteer victim advocate basically since I joined the military. I heard about the program and immediately wanted to become a volunteer victim advocate to help people. So about a year and a half before I actually separated, I was helping my local office as, an alternate duty location to basically do the job I'm doing now. But I didn't have an official duty title, or I was still enlisted, so I was still a volunteer victim advocate. So there's some portions of my job I'm doing now that I couldn't do. But I did that for about a year and a half before I actually separated, so it was nice to be able to get that experience. So when I did separate, though, I did leave the military completely, DOD, everything. I actually went and got a job at a local bank and tried the civilian life for a little bit, even though I did it before. But decided that wasn't for me, and they had another job opening for the same exact job for the we call it the sapper office, a sapper VA is what we call it. There was some couple more positions that were opening, and I was able to get hired back into that job, and I've been doing the official job for a little over a year now. So that's what I do. I help people. I love helping people. I like encouraging people to, be the best that they can be, even through the most extreme circumstances. I like to be able to be there to provide that support and know that individuals have someone they can come talk to. So I really, 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 really enjoy my job. I wish I would have never left and went and worked at the bank. I wish I would have just stayed in that position, but I was also trying to get into the radiology program, so if I would have stuck in that office, I wouldn't have been able to get to the radiology program because radiology was going to be during the day, and I'd have to get a evening part-time job or an evening job to, sustain my income and to pay our bills. So at the time, I was hoping, but I'm a big believer that things happen for a reason, and I was meant to be where I'm at now. And me and my husband have been carnivores for a little over 14 months, and we love it. We have really enjoyed this journey. I have really enjoyed it. I love educating myself about the human body, and this has just lit that fire even more for me to, stay motivated to keep learning. I do have a couple videos that I want to do next week and the week after. They're educational videos, so I do already have 2 topics picked out. But yeah, so that's just a little bit about me, so you guys kind of can get to know who I am. But yeah, I'm always open to answer questions. I am not usually too bashful to say or give you an answer. There are some questions that are probably over the line, but I'll let you know if I'm like, hey, I'm not willing to answer that, but I'm pretty much almost literally an open book about anything and everything. So don't be afraid to ask questions in the comments, or when I do my lives, don't be afraid to ask questions. I am more than willing to answer them as best I can. But yeah, other than that, it is almost Christmas. And if you guys celebrate, Merry Christmas. If you don't celebrate Christmas and you celebrate other holidays, Happy Holidays. or however you celebrate. I hope you guys have a great 3-day, 4-day weekend, whatever you guys have, and enjoy your time. And it's okay to have boundaries, and it's okay to set those boundaries. So just so you are aware that it's okay to have boundaries and to let people know what your boundaries are. If someone is not appreciative of your boundaries, they are probably not a positive influence that you should be having in your life anyways. So just keep that in mind when going into the holiday season. And I will probably make another video next week. Probably only 1 or 2. We'll see how the week goes. My son will be here for his Christmas break, so we will see how the week goes. But I for sure post 1 video next week, as a reminder about our fitness challenge that's coming up in January. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. If you guys have any questions, please ask me in the comments. And like always, don't forget that like button. Make sure you check out that join button, and make sure you subscribe. And I'll see you guys soon.